Welcome to the Busy Signal. My name is Jim, and this is my retrostalgic 80s, 90s, and early 2000s podcast. This show aims to salute all the stuff from back in the day that is now extinct or quickly going that way. The Busy Signal, episode 45. Thanks for listening. Happy summer, everyone. School's out, the days are longer, and outside is the best place to be. Last year, we kicked off the summer with Toys That Tried to Kill You. And you can go back to the archives and find that one. It's episode number 19. But this year, we're celebrating the season by remembering classic summer toys. The toys that sponsored our fun outside, our sunburns and memories with friends. The toys that turned any outdoor space instantly into a playground. So put on your sunscreen and double knot those sneakers. We're having fun in the sun, but don't worry, we'll be back home by the time the streetlights are on. When you're a little kid and the world is big and everyone's telling you what to do, you're not big enough for a real bike yet, but you still want to ride. You want that freedom, the speed, and the wind in your hair. What you want is a big wheel. Big wheels had become a generic term for any low-seated three-wheeler with a giant front wheel. They were copied by several companies in the 80s and came in all sorts of themes and movie tie-ins from Rambo to Transformers.
Imagine you're Rambo with your fighting machine, ordered to take position 19. Rambo, the force of freedom. With the Rambo power cycle, you got what it takes to track the enemy down, make him shiver and shake. Rambo, the force of freedom. Now you got him right in your sight. You're fighting for justice, fighting for right. Rambo, the force of freedom. The Rambo Power Cycle with headband included by Coleco.
There were big wheels that were built for speed and big wheels that were made for epic power slides. There was even a big wheel car wash made by Wham-O.
Thought I'd take a ride, I was looking for some fun. Thought I'd do some biking, it was hot out in the sun. All of a sudden, what did I see but a big wheel of water just waiting for me? Big wheel car wash, big wet wheel.
Your parents put it together, bike's not included.
Oh, how great it makes you feel, riding round, riding wet. Oh, how wet you really get. Big wheel car wash, big wet wheel.
Big Wheel Car Wash comes complete with washer and ramp. Bike's not included. New from Wham-O.
Summertime was the big wheel's time to shine. But maybe the idea of pedaling a low-riding tricycle wasn't freeing enough for you. You wanted the full driving experience. Enter Power Wheels. The Power Wheels brand was started in 1984 in San Francisco by an Italian company, Peg Perego. And I don't speak Italian, so if I wrecked that, sorry, nothing I can do now. They used gel cell batteries to power wheeled vehicles, and before you knew it, an infectious jingle was born.
It's nice outside, think I'll go on a ride.
Gonna hit the road with an important load.
My Power Wheels got a freewheeling feel, and its own power motor makes it go, go, go.
Power wheels, power wheels, power wheels, power makes it go.
It's a Power Wheel Zoomer, a vroom, vroom, vroomer.
Power wheels, power wheels, power wheels, power makes it go.
Power Wheels ride-ons run on rechargeable batteries. Minimal assembly required. Each sold separately.
This 1985 commercial featured 3 Power Wheel vehicles, an old-timey car, a 3-wheeled ATV, and a blue 4x4 pickup truck that looked suspiciously like the Bigfoot monster truck. Let me tell you, as a kid, there's nothing like popping a freshly charged battery and ripping through the yard, down the sidewalk, or doing power slides in the driveway. Nothing beats it. We didn't know at the time, but Power Wheels was our first introduction to EVs. You can get Power Wheels in any style pretty much these days. But back in the 80s when the company started, the big partnership was with Jeep. In the late 90s, Power Wheels partnered up with Harley-Davidson. But I've seen Cadillac Power Wheels, Disney-themed Power Wheels, and even John Deere-branded Power Wheels. Which one did I have? Well, I had that old-school 3-wheel ATV, and it was called the Raider. I got it for Christmas when I was like 5. And not even knowing how to drive it, I immediately hopped on it, foot on the gas, peeled out right from the living room straight into the kitchen for a spectacular crash into all the cabinetry. It was great. Really, it was good times. Pow, pow, Power Wheels. So what do you do when you grow out of your Power Wheels? Well, you could stick a baseball card in the spokes of your real bike and pretend to go fast, Or you get that taste of speed and freedom back with an RC car. Summertime is the best time for radio-controlled cars. They can be as basic or tricked out as you want, even gas-powered. But back in the day, if you had an RC car, it was usually from Radio Shack or Toys R Us. And Tyco was the big dog in RC cars. They always had crazy cars. The RC car that I had was the Ricochet. Released in 1994, this thing was insane. The body was upside right even if it was flipped over. And unlike the RC cars before it, flipping over was encouraged. It had big fat tires that you actually had to pump up with air that made it great on all terrain. But the Ricochet wasn't made by Tyco, even though the box art and commercials were very much in the Tyco style.
Announcing a revolution on wheels, Ricochet. And now that it's loose, the RC world will never be the same. Total twin body technology lets Ricochet do punishing, pulverizing stunts. Drive it like you hate it. The virtually unstoppable Ricochet. Vehicles and battery pack each sold separately.
The Ricochet was actually a Kenner product. Nowhere in the commercial does it say Kenner, because Kenner wasn't known for RC cars. So they just let everyone think it was Tyco. At least that's what I'm thinking. Because Tyco did release a very similar RC car in 1995 called the Tyco Rebound.
Oh, Tyco Rebound! It does stunts you have to see to believe. Tyco Rebound does in-your-face flips and a sidewinder. Tyco Rebound does almost anything your twisted mind can come up with. Like hang-time twist, 360 spins, radio-controlled, rechargeable 60 jet turbo power for blinding speed, and incredible stunts. Battery pack required, sold separately. There's only one Tyco Rebound.
But there's one rule. No matter what RC car you get, there's one rule that always applied. You have to remember to buy extra batteries, because you only got 10 to 12 minutes to tear it up before you ran out of juice. Then it took like 18 hours to charge. I might be exaggerating a little, but it really did feel like the ratio was so weird that like you had to charge for hours and hours just to get 10 minutes of power. It gets really hot in the summertime. Duh. And that's why water guns are a permanent staple in your summer toy arsenal. And for the longest time, water guns were pretty much all the same. I mean, they could come in tons of different shapes and sizes, but the experience was essentially all the same. You fill up the small water reservoir, you run around, but before you know it, you are coming back to refill. And in 1987, Tyco came out of nowhere with Zap-It, the coolest looking water gun of its time. I mean, it's an Uzi. It was in the style of an Uzi and had that long handle with the stubby body. The ink chamber had about 250 shots, and it supposedly reached up to 20 feet. This thing was cool. The commercials were really what sold this toy.
Watch out, America. You never know where Zap-It will pop up next.
Dad!
Bobby! Zap-It.
Hey, guys! Mom! I'm so sorry.
Zap-It. The color disappears, but the fun never ends.
Dad!
Hey, Bobby!
Mom!
Zap-It. Complete with guns and disappearing liquid. Additional refills in red or blue sold separately. Zap-It. The color disappears, but the fun never ends.
Disappearing ink. The whole idea of shooting someone in nice clothes and seeing them wig out and like telling them, hey, it's all good, it disappears, and then it actually does disappear, that was very appealing to pranksters. The catch on this toy was the cartridge refills. You couldn't just hit up the outdoor spigot for a quick reload anymore. You had to buy those ink refills. And this was basically preparing us for the harsh reality of buying computer printers. The ink's not cheap. Eventually, Zap-It released a motorized model that would help you blow through your disappearing ink even faster.
Hey, friend, the fun never ends. Zap-It! Zap-It! Hey, chump, don't pump. Zap-It! It's automatic. The color disappears, the fun never ends.
Pulsator and super saturated water guns come complete with red or blue concentrated disappearing liquid.
Zap-It! Zap-It! Shoots lots of feet, can't be beat. Zap-It! Zap-It!
DY! Motorized!
Zap-It! Zap-It! The color disappears, the fun never ends.
Only from Tyco.
I still think Zap-It was cool, but in 1987, there was a change in the horizon in water gun technology, and Zap-It was about to be left in the dust. In 1990, a new water gun was introduced by Laramie, the Power Drencher. But nobody remembers the Power Drencher. What if I told you that the Power Drencher was rebranded in 1991 with a new name, and under that name, it sold 2 million units? Of course, we're talking about the Super Soaker, the water gun GOAT. The OG, all water guns post-1991 wanted to look like and function like a Super Soaker.
The Super Soaker 50. Just pump up our powerful air pressure system, and you can soak someone up to 50 feet away. The Super Soaker 50 from Laramie. Also available Thunder Flash and Super Soaker Wing Thing. Each sold separately.
The Super Soaker became the only acceptable water gun for kids. If you didn't have a Super Soaker, did you have a water gun at all? Really? Development for the Super Soaker began in 1985 by U.S. Air Force and NASA engineer Lonnie Johnson. It was this man, Lonnie Johnson, that helped the water gun realize its full potential. Nay, not just the water gun, Summer. Lonnie Johnson helped Summer reach its full potential with the invention of the Super Soaker. I had the classic Super Soaker 50, but I later upgraded to the Super Soaker 200. Double extra long water reservoirs with a bigger air pressure chamber. It was so big and heavy that you needed a shoulder strap. And if I'm not mistaken, you could twist the nozzle and change the stream shape. Eventually Hasbro bought the Super Soaker brand and they're selling it under the Nerf name now. So it's a Nerf Super Soaker. And a couple years ago, I rebought my Super Soaker 50. And I have no regrets about that because it's awesome. This next summer toy has been an outdoor, warm weather go-to for almost 100 years. This thing is awesome. It's easy to play with 2 to 3 people or as a whole team sport. The flying disc, or Frisbee, has been around since the 1930s. The story goes that Walter Frederick Morrison and fiancée at the time were tossing a popcorn can lid back and forth after Thanksgiving dinner in 1937. They had so much fun that before they knew it, they were selling flying discs. He sold the right to Wham-O in 1957, and it officially became named the Frisbee.
Go long! The new Frisbee Max Flight, engineered for maximum distance, 350 feet, longer than a football field.
No, go long!
It's the longest throwing, easy-to-catch Frisbee disc ever. No, man, go really long. How far you throw the Frisbee Max Flight is up to you. Nice throw. The new Frisbee Max Flight. Frisbee disc does not really fly around the world in one throw. Wow. This time, go really long.
Yes, it did get its name from the Frisbee Pie Company in Connecticut. And even though the Frisbee Pie Company pretty much only distributed its perishable baked goods in the immediate New England area, I still prefer to think that it was Marty McFly in Hill Valley, California, 1885, that discovered the aerodynamic potential of a Frisbee pie tin at the dedication of Hill Valley's now historic clock tower. Whatever the origin story of the Frisbee is, this summer toy transcends decades and generations. The simplicity of this toy remains a summertime staple, and it's nostalgic for everyone in some way, shape, or form. Were you bad at playing catch? Were you afraid of putting yourself in front of a moving ball? Well, catch got a whole lot easier in the early 90s, and I forgot the name of this summer toy. I actually didn't think it had a name. It just seemed so generic to me, like I couldn't think of a company or a brand that made it. I've even seen it everywhere from Target to Walmart, even dollar stores. And I found a Time magazine article from 1991 talking about a summer fad going on at the time. Velcro paddles and a tennis ball. I feel like it was almost mandatory for every kid to have this Velcro paddle catch game set. The Time article actually acknowledges that the game went by several aliases from Magic Mitts, Skatch, Catcheroo, and Super Grip Ball. And then a memory was unlocked. Grip Ball. I now remember it being called Grip Ball. It even has commercials. Check it out.
Get ready. Here it comes. Grip ball. Grip, grip ball. Grip ball. Grip, grip, grip ball. The original. The old fish. Get ready. Grip ball. Grip ball. Grip ball. Get a grip. Catch
kitty grip.
There's not much to say really for this usually neon-colored game of catch, except that I'd say it was usually good for about a dozen games of catch. Two things would usually happen. First, the fuzzy tennis ball would get messed up and it would no longer stick to the Velcro, or someone would throw the ball too hard and the paddle would crack. Otherwise, Grip Ball also has a permanent place in the pantheon of summer toys. Extra points for whoever came up with Skatch. I kind of like that one. It's a good name. You guys want to play some Skatch? Did you remember all of these legendary summer toys, or did you have any of them? Any I missed? Hit me up on Instagram at BusySignalCast, drop a comment, and I'll get back to you. All suggestions will be considered for future episodes. Make sure to follow for a daily shot of nostalgia. Every week we have a retro theme on the Busy Signals Insta. The past couple weeks have been dedicated to Hot Breakfasts and Nick Jr. And if you liked this episode, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods. This was our kickoff to summer 2025, but the next episode drops in 2 weeks. It'll be July 4th, so make sure to subscribe to the Busy Signal because you won't want to miss the 4th of July special episode. I'll be joined by friend of the show, George. You know him from plenty of other episodes, from board games to Ernest Saves Christmas. It's going to be a good time. There might even be fireworks. Well, guys, that's it for this one. Remember to use sunscreen and keep those super soakers loaded and pressurized. Happy summer. Thanks for hanging out. Scat you later. Once again, I'd like to say thanks for listening. And as always, you can listen to the Busy Signal everywhere quality podcasts are streamed. Hit the subscribe button to have a new episode delivered directly to your favorite device every other Friday. If you really like the show, leave a 5-star rating or a positive review on Apple and Spotify. That lets everybody else know to come check out what you already think is awesome. You can also head over to Instagram and follow the show at BusySignalCast for even more retrostalgic content. I share a good amount of fun stuff that isn't mentioned on the episodes. While you're there, say hi in the comments. Don't be shy. And until next time, remember, reach out and touch the past.